All right, what's going on, YouTubers? For ladies and gentlemen, I am live here for It's the Natural Scary Thriller, aka Natural Scream Thriller, aka Natural Born Thriller. And wow, what a bountiful glory they give us here, Impact Wrestling. Especially having at the end of the main event before the show when almost went over. I'll remember that, man. I'll tell you that. I'll definitely remember this moment. We're gonna find out how I feel about that once we get to it. So, welcome everyone to Impact Wrestling Review. Excuse me, folks. Sorry about that. I thought I had to take care of something, but uh, so yeah. Welcome to this Impact Wrestling Review, the show from October 23rd, 2021, at basically where they were in Las Vegas, Nevada, but where they were at in Las Vegas was at the Sunrise Manor, uh, and the venue they were at was at the Sam's Town Live or Live, however they call it. But um, yeah, under the promotion of Impact Wrestling, where it tends to delivering what they can deliver us to the table here. Well, they did deliver us to the what they said they was going to give us, except for I was expecting a huge surprise where it tends to someone showing up from other promotions. Like they said, they would gonna have them be part of. I'm just SCB did have some people coming to other promotions to this to this event, but not the ones I was expecting to show up though. But in a way, they kind of deliver what they got to deliver. In a way, your commentators were Matt Striker and D'Lo Brown. Your ring announcer was David Penzer. Your referees were Brian Hebner, Brendan Toll, and Daniel Spencer. So I'm assuming Daniel Spencer is the one, um, who's refereeing the match from last week's Impact Wrestling show on the Golden Show edition or the opening tag team match. You know, and we'll get to that tag team match when we get to that too. But you also have Gia Miller, your interviewer. Now I was gonna do this earlier, folks, but I had to keep pushing the schedule, even more further. And when I think about it, I really should have done it yet somewhere this week, before we got to Thursday's Impact Wrestling, which I'm not watching. I heard about Moose's promo was good, which we'll get to more of that when we get to what happened with Moose on the show. But where it pertains to me doing this review, I really should thought about doing it either Wednesday or that Tuesday. I thought Tuesday could have been a perfect time for me to do it, but I didn't do it unfortunately, and that's my fault. So is why today was you know it was delayed because I had to pick up my niece, and it was and I hung out a little bit, and let me just say I should have done it on Tuesday, or at least on that Wednesday, which was yesterday. So I'm doing it live right now here, So I'm going to go through all happened on the show here. Before we do, I gotta mention what I saw before the show, during the pre-show of Impact Wrestling, and that was the the induction for Awesome Kong going into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame, being inducted by her longtime rival and friend Gail Kim, who's also a Hall of Famer in her own right in Impact Wrestling. And Gail Kim gave a great speech about rotational wrestling with Awesome Kong during those times where she and Awesome Kong put the Knockouts division on the map, where it tends to created the real women's revolution, not that bullshit women's revolution that Stephanie McMahon was trying to to take over, and and just and basically I already know how debacle. I don't want to go through that because I don't want to talk about WWE. Fuck WWE. Hello, Nick. Amazing video that I did to you. Not mad. Thanks for that. Well, I haven't got time to comment that on your comment about we talking about things to get to trash, but I'll let you know once I get to it because right now this is not the place to do right now. So, but let's not be mad about it. But same time, I think you will be a little mad about why I did it. Yeah, you'll find out why. Once I comment on that on your comment from that video. But this is about Impact Wrestling, so let's stay focused on Impact Wrestling here. So, um, so Impact Wrestling, did an amazing job, thanks to inducting Austin Kong into the Hall of Fame, with having Gail Kim in there. Now there was no Rolex watch for her, no gold Rolex, you know, Rolex, I should say, Rolex, for Austin Kong. Um, but either way, it's great that she's being inducted. Like I said, Gail can talk about her time with her wrestling with Austin Kong and all that, where she shared some stories that we never heard of before and everything. And then she introduced Austin Kong coming out, and Austin Kong, that you stole my thunder there pretends to give away what she's going to say. Now she's got to say something. Now she's going to come up with something else now, which she has no problem with doing too. But I thought she did an amazing job, an awesome job, no pun intended, which is Austin Kong. Now, before she was known as Awesome Kong, she was known as Amazing Kong back in the days of her wrestling in Japan. And the whole thing of her being Awesome Kong, either way, her attention to what the type of gift that she had in the ring, you could see why she was amazing in Japan and why she was awesome in TNA wrestling during those times with the Knockouts division. But yeah, they pertains to the pioneers of the Knockouts division. That was Gail Kim and that was Awesome Kong. They put that on the map with the rivals and all, and if fans really grasp to that, and and also, there was a video package too, by the way. They did a video package, highlighting Awesome Kong's career in TNA wrestling. We had Deanna Purrazzo talking about her, Christy Hemme. I think Jordan Grisman said something too. I can't remember if it was her or not. Rachel Ellering said something. Mickey James, Gail Kim, obviously. Just a handful of people of knockouts talking about Awesome Kong, and basically, thank you, thank you, Kong. It's basically what it was. And yeah, she got inducted to into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame, and they got a couple of the rosters of the knockouts coming out, giving her props. Tina Dashwood, but Tina Dashwood, she wasn't there though. I don't know why she wasn't there, and I'll get to a little bit more of that once I get to the match. The match I thought I was never going to see, but I decided to watch it either way because at the end of the day, it is about Bound for Glory. So I'll get to that when we get to it. But we can see all these women lined up on stage, the knockouts, I should say. Pertains to hugging Austin Kong and yeah, I thought it was all nice. Except for holding with Rosemary. I don't know what was that about. With her not being like don't hug me. But in a way, Austin Kong still hugged her in a way, but. I don't know. That was kind of weird. I don't know if that was supposed to be, Rosemary, still staying in character with this whole thing, but I don't know. But either way, and that was the Hall of Fame for Awesome Kong. It didn't take long. And then run this course. It they did what they had to do there. It's not pertains to selling merchandise. It's not about gain that big bucks and try to market them. So that's what the Hall of Fame should be about. Like the WWE's Hall of Fame. But I digress. So with that out winning now, congratulations to Awesome Kong, by the way, being inducted to the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame. Long overdue. But I'm glad they got the opportunity to give her in that into the Hall of Fame. And there you go. And yeah, speaking of who else is long overdue too, there's a lot of TNA wrestlers, even knockouts, are also long overdue to be inducted to the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame as well. That needs to be inducted at this sooner rather than later. But there you go. Now let's get to the pre-show match. So the pre-show match featured a tournament final intergender 6-way match for the Impact Digital Media Championship. That's the 5 minutes and 4 seconds. Yeah, Jordan Grace was being accompanied by Richard Ellering versus Chelsea Green versus Gracie Steve, who was being accompanied by Back to Ruth versus Falaba versus John Skyler versus replacing, Tina Dashwood is Madison Rain being accompanied by Caleb. And I don't know why she wasn't there. There's no report of why she wasn't there because originally she was supposed to be in the match, Tina Dashwood, and I picked her to win the match too because to me the Impact digital the Impact Digital Media Championship belt doesn't mean nothing to me. I'm not saying as a terrible belt. It's not. It's actually looks like a good belt. Um, but the name is terrible. Digital Media Championship. I mean, then again, you have the Internet Championship belt that McDonald has, but you can excuse that because at least that was something. And then you talk about the BTE Championship belt too, which is to being the elite as well. But you can excuse that too. I don't get what this supposed to mean. Pertains to being the Impact Digital Champion, Digital Media Champion. Um, are we going to see it defended on Impact Wrestling instead of being defended on pertains to before the Impact shows, or maybe it'll be defended a lot more on Impact Plus because it's where this pertains to watching Impact Plus shows pertains to like No Surrender, um well whatever the name is Turning Point, um any names they'll come up with for their Impact Plus shows. Are we gonna see it defended on there? Oh, obviously we will because it has something to do with being on digital media and we're to pay-per-views as well. We're not going to be seeing defended on the pay-per-view. We're going to be. I mean, you could see that you be defended on pay-per-view. Because some pay-per-views could be on the internet. It tends to the digital media championship. But I don't see that happening at all because based on what they did here, it tends to the digital media championship belt being defended on the pre-show, which is on the internet. You can watch. Um, I don't see any value of that belt at all being defended on the main show or on pay-per-views. So, but hey, I guess they want their own internet belt there, and they finally got it. Is it going to mean anything at the end of the day? No. It's just something to get to these wrestlers, to get for them to do to do something. And I guess they could try to make it prestige in a way, but I don't know. I just don't see it. But as far as the match was, before I get to the match, again, so Team Dashwood, I don't know what's going on with her. I don't know why she wasn't there. I don't know what happened with her. But the fact she's not there, then Master Rain, give it to her then. Because at the end of the day, I don't care about the belt either way. The belt looks great and all. It looks like a knockoff AEW World Championship belt. To be honest, if you guys see on the belt how it looks, you know what I'm talking about. But it's whatever. But the match happens, and the match is good. Yeah, I expect this match to be good. And they really wanted to be the first ever Impact Digital Media Champion. And they're all doing their moves and everything, and they're doing a great job in this match. In the end, it was Jordan Grace getting the win over on John Skyler. And I say himself, Jordan Grace of all people wins that belt. Oh yeah, because we got nothing for you, Jordan Grace, along with your partner, your Richard Ellering, because we failed without being tag team champions. So we're gonna give Jordan Grace something here, or up here, and Richard Ellering is gonna be on the sidelines. Basically be alongside with Jordan Grace. I mean, Jordan Grace sounded like she was proud of being the champion and all. Like even when she appeared on the show, by the way, she did appear on the show with Richard Ellering. Which we'll get to that later on. In fact, let me talk about right now. Since I'm talking about right now, so Jordan Grace, after she won the belt, they show up. She show up later on. Retains to being proud of being the first ever Impact Digital Media Champion, and then and Richard Ellering talks about how she's gonna win her match now, which is to get go around her waist too, and all. And basically talk about the Coach Gauntlet match, and that's when Moose and Matt. I mean not Matt. Moose and Morrissey came up to interrupt the interview and said that we're gonna be the ones lasting, and then Morrissey said, yeah, and I'm gonna be the one to win. And Moose like, I like the sound of that, So They were teasing some about routines to Moose, W Morrissey go meet up with Rich Elray in the gauntlet match. We'll definitely get to it. Mm, but we'll get to that. But yeah, I thought it was fun though. I thought it was fun. And Drag Race really loving that she's the champion too, because it's been so long since she's been a champion on Impact Wrestling, especially when it comes to singles championship belts. So she's holding that belt like she's proud of it. So now let's get to the opening show of this show. The first of all, the opening introduction for Battle Glory was great. That's I get that away first. So we get the opening match. The opening match for the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship title. 8 minutes and 58 seconds it lasted. Since it already been spoiled from me. Thanks a lot, True J. With the inspiration of Casey Lee and Jessie K defeating Decay of Havoc and Rosemary to become the new Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champions. Now, before I get to the match itself, and before I get to my thoughts about the win the tag belts too, despite True J spoiling that for me, and I know it was an accident. I know it wasn't done on purpose, no, but it was obviously it was a slip, but same time I was not happy about that. Well, being spoiled something that pertains to wrestling. And yeah, as obviously, I probably don't remember, but 2018 was that year when someone spoiled something about me. I was pissed, and I exploited my anger on this person to a point. It ended up being a rivalry between the two of us, and then it ended later on though. But that was a mess though, and it shouldn't have went down that way. And I do apologize, and I have apologized to him too, no, and and we're good. Place again. But my God, it was terrible during that time. Juggalo gamers sitting here drinking some red, white, and blue popsicle flavor soda. Oh wow, is that the Mountain Dew one? In fact, no, I don't think it's a Mountain Dew one because Mountain Dew one's I think it's called Mountain US Dew or Dew SA something like that. I don't remember, but that drink was terrible by the way. But where were you? The one you're talking about? That sounds pretty good. So, let me know what you're talking about. Maybe you're talking about the ones that something new came out. But yeah, let me know what kind of song you're talking about when it comes to the that type of flavor that you mentioned. But back to the inspiration. Yeah, sure. The inspiration, the former iconics, of Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. Now here in Impact Wrestling, they came out and they look astonishing with their outfits. And also, the song inspiration. I forgot her name. I already forgot her name. Holly. Sorry. Let me do that. It was Holly something. Maybe I'll try to find the folks because it's gonna kill me. Not knowing this woman who sang the iconic songs. So this won't take long. All I need to do is go to recent. All right, let me go. Here we go. All right, Holly Cameron. That's her name, and she was out there performing for the Iconics, making their in-ring debut. And I'm like, what a way to open up Impact Wrestling's Battle for Glory 2021, folks, because that rocked the house. So Jessie K and Cassie Lee came out. They're looking astonishing, like I said, and they did their entrance. And while they're Mertens who's singing the inspiration song by Harley Cameron. That was amazing. It was awesome. And also the music video too, by the way. I mean the Timetron of that music video, that was pretty good too. Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay showing off and everything. With and like oh my God, that was awesome and also hot. Both of them are hot. Just saying. But yeah, but that was, and I loved it. I loved the entrance that did. and you can guess what's going to be my highlights of the night for since Battle Glory once we get to that part. So there you go. That was it. Then we get to the iconics. I mean the inspiration. They're not the icons no more. The inspiration kind of promo, and they do the same thing. Where it tends to saying their names, the inspiration, and they do this. You know, yeah, basically doing the same pose like they did back in the days of the WWE. And then we get the K coming out with their entrance, and then the match happens. Versus the match, I thought it was good, a very good opening match, and it's easy for me to say that pertains to Jessie K. So Peyton Royce, I'm glad to see that Peyton Royce is still found her footing, in the ring. She's still good. Now as far as Jessie K, yeah, I heard me before pertains to Jessie K back in the days when she was Billy K in WWE. Where I said that she looks awkward in the ring, she looks terrible in the ring, she's garbage, she's not a very good wrestler at all. Even though with her time being developed on NXT for that long, still couldn't get it right and all. She's always sloppy. She looks sometimes she always botches and stuff. Her stuff just looks silly. It tends to her taking bumps and all that. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. What takes that whole thing. If you watch Billy Kay's matches, I know what I'm talking about. What takes her silliness of her bumping and all that. Maybe she was told to do that. I don't know. Maybe in WWE, when she got to the main roster, she was told to do those type of spots and all that. The silly spots that make it look awkward and goofy. I remember her doing that a lot in NXT though. I remember NXT she was just decent, but other than that, the only ones that were the better wrestling out of the two was Cassie Lee, the former Peyton Royce. So when it comes to Jessie K of her performance here, I was blown away. I'm like, what? Where the fuck was this passion at in WWE? I'm like, she was pretty good. I'm like, where did this come from Jessie K? Like, why we couldn't see that fire, that passion, that animosity back in the day we were in WWE, we were Billy Kay. What the fuck happened here? Like, there's no way she could have been this good. Like, it's amazing that Jessie K has evolved now, where her wrestling looks way better than John Cena's wrestling. In fact, what looks way better than Brandy Rose's wrestling. Even looks way better than Eva Marie's wrestling. Hell, even though she's new, but same time, even her wrestling looks way better than B-Fab's wrestling. Wow, what an improvement that Jessie K I've seen wrestling on this show. Steel Storm 22. What's going on? Mr. Driller, I like that. Thank you. But yeah, what's up, man? What's up? But yeah, but the match I love the match though. It was good, back and forth and all, and then in the end, obviously you already know what happened in the end because I already told you already. I was spoiled based on who spoiled it for me. Yeah, the inspiration won. Now I wasn't mad at that. I was not, even though the results of it came out where it tends to the inspiration winning. Someone spoiling for me. Thanks a lot again, True J. So John Cena, I still say he sucks. But anyways, but yeah, but I was gonna say the inspiration winning. I was not mad at that either way, despite me not knowing who won. I still wasn't mad at that because it was a good match, a damn good match. I was afraid coming to the match it was gonna be a terrible match because these two don't know each other that well in the ring. I doubt they even know each other before they got they went their own ways in other companies. So the fact that they gelled well together and they had good chemistry there, I was amazed. I was surprised, and I'm glad the inspiration won. Now, even though it was spoiled for me, I was gonna go for the inspiration to win either way because for instance, how the inspiration was treated back in the days of the WWE when they became the tag team champions on that WrestleMania back in 2019. I was happy for them, and I picked them. If anyone remembers my preview at that time. Now I don't remember if I did do a preview of it, but I remember kept saying on the preview I did on the Asylum show, I want the Icons to win. I wanted them to win the belts off of Charlotte Banks and Daly, and you had the other teams too as well. You had Divas of Doom of Beth Phoenix and Natalia, and they had Nia Jax and Tamina. They were also a tag team in that match too as well. Out of those three tag teams, I mean, out of those four tag teams, which is to, the four-way tag team championship title match for the women's, I want the Icons to win, and they did. And what did WWE do with them? Absolutely nothing with them. And it fucking pisses me off that they treated the Iconics the way they treated them as tag team champions of the women's division because they look like a tag team. They were as a tag team. They are a tag team, and they could help the tag team division of the women's division of where them being the tag team champions during those times, and WWE did not do anything with them. So, and on top of that, with them breaking them up just for sick of breaking them up to pair them up with someone else during those times too, which was a disaster too during the pandemic. To a point now that they've been released this past year, and now they're here in Impact Wrestling, and now they're going to show what WWE should have done with them all this time. Impact Wrestling signed them to the show, the inspiration, how it's done, where it pertains to women's tag team in pro wrestling for the women's. And now, with the inspiration being the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champions, I guarantee you it's going to be a way more better on the defense and more prestige. With Chainsaw Knockouts Tag Team titles coming back since this year, than the WWE's piece of shit women's tag team titles that they introduced back in 2019 and not doing anything with it. And on top of that, there's no tag team division for the women's division in WWE right now. So, and you could say the same thing with Impact Wrestling, which I understand too. I agree with that too as well. There's no more fire and flavor. In replacement, you got now Savannah Evans in the place of potential team up with Tasha Steelz. You got the K of Havoc and Rosemary together. You got Team Dashwood and Mazarine as the Influence together, just for the sake of them being a tag team. You got Jordan Grayson, Rich Ellering as a tag team. So in Impact Wrestling, at least, I mean, you could say what we want about Impact Wrestling pertains to the roster they have, but at least they got a women's division. I'll sure say at this point, not a tag team division, way more than what WWE's women's tag team division they have. Still, I saw the highlights of Bound for Glory. Hope you enjoyed it though. I like them as the new Impact World Tag Team Champs. Me too. And I cannot wait to see what they do as the Tag Team Champions. Both Cassie Lee and Jessie K as the inspiration. That's what they do, by the way. Did you see that new belt they made on Impact Wrestling? Yes, I did. I actually talked about it. It looks like the AEW World Title belt. I talked about it before, by the way. Still, they basically made their own digital media championship belt, and it looks like the AEW World Championship belt. That's basically what it looks like. So, but anyways, but enough of that. Now let's move on to the next match. The next match features Trey Mcgill versus El Phantasmo versus Steve Maclin in the tournament final three-way match for the Impact Exhibition Championship. 13 minutes and 21 seconds it lasted. And this match, oh my God, it was on fire. This is what the exhibition is all about. Now, I get it. This is not the exhibition of old. This is not the exhibition of what it used to be anymore. But these guys are showing what the exhibition what can it be in this generation, in this modern era right now. And it was great. Trey Mcgill was amazing. El Phantasmo was great. Steve Maclin was good. And especially doing moves that he shouldn't be doing. I wasn't expecting him to do those type of moves, like Batista was doing those dives and all that. Like there's no need for him to do that. And on top of that, he almost got hurt not once but twice in one of those moves too, by the way. And you really need to do that. But at the same time, he still pulled up. He pulled up pretty well. And yeah, he got all harm's way for that too. So he did pretty good in this match. And there was one move by the way he did to Trey Mcgill. I'll get to that when I get to my highlights of it. But my God, this was a good match. A damn good match, and the crowds were on their feet for this one, and the crowds were loud for this one, and they at one point were chanting "Fight Forever" for this one. Of all matches they chant for "Fight Forever," it was that match they chanted for "Fight Forever," and it's only the second match that opened up the show. Amazing, Amazing match. And in the end, I pick on my pick to win here, Trey Mcgill. I mean, with him, resigning with Impact Wrestling this year, since he was gone, and now with him resigning with Impact Wrestling. Actually, I can't remember if it was this year or it was like before the end of the of last year, But either way, Trey Mcgill, with Jason being gone from the Impact Wrestling for a little bit, and then he has to resign with them. I asked him, so well, if you're gonna resign him, you got give him something. You gotta give him this some type of push, eventually. Which they took their time with him. It was just feuding with Sammy Callahan, Ace Austin again, and a few others I can't remember off the bat. But Jim McGill, at the end of the day, it was worth the wait because at the end of the day, they waited for his opportunity, his moment to be in, to get his push that he shouldn't gotten when he was with the Rascals. And Trey Miguel is your new exhibition champion, and I couldn't be happy for him, man. And he was emotional, no, yeah, he made the right choice to sign with Impact Wrestling. He made the right choice to stick with them. And unfortunately for his buddies, the Rascals, VSK, they're no longer the tag team champions after this past Tuesday just passed by. So basically, we're just to the Rascals of being champions from different companies. It only lasted for 2 days because, or actually 3 days. Excuse me, because VSK already lost the tag belts to Imperium. That match was good though. I don't know if you're talking about the X Men title match, but yeah, I agree. It was a good match. Unless you're talking about the Inspirations tag team match, but either way, but yeah, at this point, yeah, I agree. Both opening shows of these matches on the show, I should say, was pretty good. 13 minutes and 21 seconds lasted, like I said, with the X Men title belt, now in possession of Trey Miguel. Then we get to Heath. Maybe who knows who's going to show up? If it's going to be Rhino or maybe it's going to be someone else to help out with him to go up against Vampire Design of Diener and Joe Doring, being accompanied by Eric Young. A tag team match, 4 minutes and 59 seconds, basically a 5-minute match. Match itself, it was decent. Heath was holding his own, so basically it was a tease of if Rhino's going to show up, and no sign of Rhino. No one knows where Rhino is. Who is going to show up? If it is going to be Rhino or if it's going to be someone else to help out Heath to go up against Vampire Design, So he had to do it on his own, and Diener was doing pretty good. Joe Dory was pretty good too, and Heath was on his own. He did a pretty good job with that as well. To finally we get to a point where we hear a familiar theme music, gore, 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 and out comes Rhino. As soon as I heard that music, I said, "So, yep, he's not part of Vampire Design then," because unless he's coming out without no music, coming out there and to either swerve us, to be on Heath's side or on Vampire Design side. Basically, when they hit the music, that was a giveaway. So either way, I was happy because Rhino coming out, gore, 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 boom, 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 dum, 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 his music, So he gets on the corner, where Heath was at, tag me. And then he goes in, he starts wrecking house, and then he ends up with the gore, gore, gore to Diener, and gets the win for himself and Heath. So yeah, Heath and Rhino are back together once again. And later on, there was a promo. Later on, Heath and Rhino kind of promo. Basically, Heath was kind of promo since it's good to have Rhino back and all, and everything. And then Rhino says, tell your kids wherever, or the kids who are watching home, wherever. Basically, his kids are watching at home, saying that that Uncle Rhino is back. So yeah, it was a happy, feel good moment where it takes to, that whole thing, and I loved it. So now with Heath and Rhino back together, now obviously they're going to still have their program of Vampire Design, but with those two back together, when they're done with Vampire Design, now they go focus on their pursuit to go after the Impact World Tag Team titles, and hopefully they do. And hopefully they'll beat the tag team champions, which we'll get to that when we get to it, by the way, folks. We'll get to that. Give me one moment, folks. All right, cool, awesome. But yeah, good feel good moment there. So yeah, Either way, it was a good swerve there that Ryan was good. Because Ryan was season 2, by the way. Who's he gonna start with? Is he gonna start with Heath, or is he gonna start with Vomit Design? But it was either way, it was a dead giveaway either way. So Steel, what do you think of Heath being on Impact? I think he might be treating well better than WWE. Yeah, I do like it because I always thought that Heath was pretty good, especially during his time in WWE back in 2010 when he was on the NXT's the game show NXT by Vince McMahon, if you remember that one. But I thought he was pretty good. I can't remember who was the pro at the time. Um, but I love this look. I love how he wrestled, and they could have done something with him. Which is still, after his run with the Nexus and after his run with the Core, they could have done something with him, being a singles wrestler to be maybe Intercontinental champion, maybe United States champion, and they never did that. They basically labeled him as a joke, and I hated that. Now he was entertaining though. He done what he can with his work of being a comedy joke and all. And he did a great job with that. He got over because of that. But the problem is, I want to see more than just than he being a joke character. I want to see him be a serious character, which is to him winning championships. Maybe at the end, it'll be a payoff for him to get a singles title, or being Intercontinental champion or maybe a United States champion, and they never did it. They haven't on with 3MB, and then after that was over, they had with Talos O'Neil with this whole Slater Gator garbage bullshit with Hornswoggle dressing like a fucking meaty gator, and then having and then when I was over, they have Heath be with Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas, and Adam Rose, and they were the social outcasts, and that after that was done, he was a free agent, and from there, like, okay, they got something here. He's a free agent. Then also he started talking about this whole I got kids and everything. And he, we don't know if he's going to sign with either Raw or with SmackDown, and he ends up getting signed with SmackDown, and he ends up being with Rhino and everything. They'll do something great with him, and then they fucked it up again. So I'm glad that he's gone from WWE, and I'm glad he's doing great right now in Impact Wrestling. And yes, his injury got in the way too, by the way. But he's back now, and hopefully he can stay healthy. And now we're gonna see what he can do. Now he's been doing great either way. When he made his debut to Impact Wrestling last year. I can't wait to see what he does more later on, and when the new year comes too, because he missed a lot. He missed a lot of days, a lot of months, to say the least. Basically, missed a whole year of not doing anything on Impact Wrestling, unfortunately. But now he's back. He's gonna make it up for it. So I'm gonna be sticking with Heath all the way. WWE buries people left and right. Yeah, they do. I don't get that. I don't understand that at all. But anyways, let's move on now. Oh yes, here we go. This is what I want to talk about here, folks. The 20 person intergender call your shot gauntlet match, where the winner gets to receive not only a trophy, but they'll receive a contract of any titles they want to go after. So does that remind you of anything? Money in the Bank, in a way. So, but we'll get to that part when we get to what happened later. 29 minutes and 33 seconds lasted. So, who was in it? You have number one, which we all knew coming in, was Chris Sabin. Number two, let me say this. Number one, from Impact Wrestling, Chris Sabin, which we already know. And number 20, obviously, we know who's going to be in it as well from Impact Wrestling. There'll be Morrissey. We'll get to him later, too. But number two, from New Japan Pro Wrestling, Rocky Moriro. Sorry. Choked up a little. Rocky Romero. There you go. Rocky Moriro from New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I was happy. And the crowds were happy too. I was not expecting him to be there, but he was there. So they basically Impact Wrestling, has given us what we want, what we want. Some people from New Japan Pro Wrestling, not who we expected to, to show up there, but it's whatever. As Rocky Romero was there, he's the only one who's available because he's in California, which is New Japan Strong. So Number 3 from Impact Wrestling, Madman Fulton. Number 4 for Impact Wrestling, Rohit Raju. Number 5 for Impact Wrestling from the Knockouts division, Tasha Steeles. Number 6 for Impact Wrestling from the Knockouts division, Rachel Ellering. Uh, Number 7 from Impact Wrestling, also from the Knockouts division, Savannah Evans. Number 8 for Impact Wrestling, Johnny Swinger. Number 9 from NWA, Molina. Wow, I was not expecting that. But I was happy. I was happy to see her. Number 10 from his gimmick back in the days of WCW, the Demon. The Demon. Wow. For those who don't know who the Demon is Dale. How do you say his last name again? Torborg. Dale Torborg. He was the Demon back in the days of the WCW. Basically, the Demon character is supposed to be, Kiss. If you remember the rock band Kiss. I wanna rock and roll all night and party every day. I wanna rock and roll all night and party every day. Basically, he was basically Gene Simmons, but he was known as the Demon. Portraying the Kiss theme character. But I couldn't believe it was him, and I can't believe he's still wrestling too. But yeah, he's actually I don't know. Yeah, that's nothing. He's been retired since 2007. So where they dug him up, I don't know. So they called him up, and he was part of the show. And I was excited to see him too, because I always liked the Demon, from WCW. Not everyone was fond of the character because they didn't see anything of it, anything special of it. But yeah, I wanted characters, so there you go. There was a character, and yeah, they didn't want him. Despite how unique the character is, when it takes him being a Kiss character, I thought that was cool. Now, hey Rim, if you're still in the watching, I don't know if you're watching too, but I don't know if you remember the Demon from WCW, which is being the Kiss character back in that days. I don't know if you thought it was cool too, but I thought it was cool. As a Kiss fan, I thought that was cool. But it was great to see. It was great to see the Demon, and he wasn't bad in the ring, by the way. He wasn't never a great wrestler. I thought he was decent, but he didn't look bad in the match though. But yeah, he was number 10. 11 for Impact Wrestling, Brian Myers. He brought along with Ziggy Dice and VSK there. Number 12 for Impact Wrestling, Matt Cardona, who's always ready. Number 13 from AAA, Laredo Kid. Number 16, I'm sorry, number 14, I'm going ahead. I'm going way ahead. I apologize. Number 14 for Impact Wrestling, Sam Beal. And we'll get to why he was part of that match too, by the way. Because it makes sense. At the same time, really? Whatever. Number 15 for Impact Wrestling, Rich Swann. Number 16 from Impact Wrestling, Ace Austin. Number 17 for Impact Wrestling, Moose. Number 18 for Impact Wrestling, Eddie Edwards. Number 19 for Impact Wrestling from the Knockouts division, Alicia Edwards. And number 20 was W. Morrissey from Impact Wrestling. Now, the thing about W. Morrissey, I thought he was going to be done at Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory, because I could swear when we're chasing him to be on the podcast with with Sean Waltman, X-Pac, that he's his contract with Impact Wrestling is only temporary. It's going to be done at the Bound for Glory, and the seam's still there. I thought they'll do an angle where W. Morrissey would get taken out by Eddie Edwards, but tends to being badly to a point where he's going to be right away of the seam of Impact Wrestling, but he's still there. I guess he must have signed I don't know if he did or not, but I guess he's sticking around for a little bit more until maybe the time is right to leave. I don't know. I just don't know. But that was all the entrance. Now let's get to the stuff that happened in the match. So if I remember, let me first say this. Okay, John Stringer, he basically was hitting on Morlina and hitting on Tasha Steeles. And there was an interaction there where they could have done a story there where John Stringer returns to the fan pack and Tasha Steeles, because remember that storyline where Tasha Steeles had that roll of money in her fanny pack, and John Stringer ends up finding that roll of money in that fanny pack, and he took the money with him basically, and that's when he did the whole Stringer's Palace whole thing. That's where the whole thing started. I thought they at least do a storyline with that whole thing, but they never did that. I thought it was a right opportunity to do that too, but they didn't do it, unfortunately. Just like they didn't do the opportunity here where it tends to Richard Ellering. She got eliminated before Moose and W Morrissey even got there. Yeah, I mean they could at least have her be somewhere from number 10 all the way to maybe number 13 maybe, and she could last longer until we get to Moose and then W Morrissey there. Maybe you have an interaction with Rich Ellering with Moose, and then Moose eliminates her, whatever. Nope, none of that. Rich Ellering never got an opportunity to last along to meet with Moose and W Morrissey in there. And it makes you think about what was the point even do that backstage segment. I don't know. Savannah Evans though and Richard Irving had their own thing. I guess they're gonna do that program too. By the way, it won't surprise me. It's gonna be a program that's gonna lead to Tasha Steeles and Savannah Evans versus Jordan Grace and Richard Irving. We'll see. We'll see. The Demon though, when the Demon came out and John Cena wanted his autograph because he thought he was Gene Simmons, and he gave him the autograph on that, but I guess it was said something else too, and then John Stringer gets eliminated by the Demon, and the crowd's boo by the way, because they were loving John Stringer by the way, because the whole Stringer spouse thing, and I started growing onto John Stringer too by the way, after everything, I can't remember when I started one up to him and all, but yeah, I'm not hating on John Stringer anymore, so I actually like John Stringer, so not that I hated him. I never hated him. I just couldn't stand him. He's way better than Joey Ryan, I'll tell you that. Fuck you, Joey Ryan. Anyways, Matt Cardona and Brian Myers is meet each other, and they're few, because they're former partners, all that. Chris Sabin, he lasted to the end. I mean, yeah, actually he did. As a matter of fact, he did. He did last to the end. As a matter of fact. Let me double check if he did or not. I could swear he did. Okay. I could swear he did, unless it was someone else that was there. That lasted long. Oh yeah, I remember now. Okay, I remember who it was. All right, so but Chris Sabin did last to the end though. He had he basically went the distance, Chris Sabin, which I knew he would. So Madara, what's going on? You're basically a sage of 6 paths. What's good? So yeah, just doing an Impact Wrestling review about Alpha Girl. Trying to remember some interactions too. Okay, so Sam Beal gets in the ring, and Brian Myers, let's work together on everything, right? I say to myself, Brian Myers, you're the one who cut Sam Beal in the first place. So the story here is that Sam Beal was cut because of Brian Myers, out of the match. I mean, out of the learning tree thing. Now it's just Brian Myers, VSK, and Ziggy Dice. And also Manny Lemons was gone too, by the way. So it was basically two people that was gone now, Manny Lemons and Sam Beal. And Sam Beal ends up being part of this match. He signs along with Brian Myers. And I was like, why would he do that? And then we get to the part where he gets eliminated. He gets eliminated. I mean, Sam Beal eliminates Brian Myers, just like how Brian Myers eliminated Sam Beal from that one point when they did the battle royal. I think it was what, months ago. I believe it was the one where Brian Myers got the win and got and got the title shot against Christian Cage. I'm assuming it was that same battle royale, but that was also the battle royale where he eliminated Sam Beal, where Sam Beal helping him out and everything, and then and then also Brian Myers turns on him and throws him out. Sam Beal returned a favor to him on this one, and after that was well done. That right there was storytelling. I love how they did the story there with his to that. Now I wasn't fond of Sam Beal's being in the match too and all, but after this was done, I mean I still feel the same way, but at least that was good storytelling there. So yeah, so Brian Myers was gone because of Sam Beal. So the most professional wrestler has been outsmarted by a rookie who was training him to be how to be a professional. I thought that was funny. Now, oh yeah, Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards, they had candlesticks. Kendra. Kenny for Eddie Edwards and Kendra for Alicia Edwards. And then Kenny on David Morrissey. And I think they made the moves too. I could be wrong. I can't remember. But wait, also too, when Edwards came out for the first time, I actually was shocked and surprised and excited that Eddie Edwards came out, despite of his gimmick and his getup and all that. By the way, he got rid of the braids now. He's got nice. He's rocking the mohawk again. To me, I think he should grow the hair back again and go back to being the Eddie Edwards wearing the tights and all. But I digress. But I was excited for the first time for Eddie Edwards, which I never thought I would. But yeah, but they were doing their thing, and now let's get to the eliminations now, folks. So that's basically all I can say from there. Richard Uttering and Savannah Evans, when they both got eliminated from the match, they were having head to head, squaring off and all that outside, which they'd be pulled apart. So they're teasing that too, by the way. They're going to tease that as a match, which I can't wait to see, by the way. That's going to be a match for Impact Wrestling. So now let's get to the eliminations here. Number one eliminated was Tasha Steelz by Molina. Which gives. Wait, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Tasha Steelz was not eliminated first. It was actually Rocky Romero. Rocky Romero was eliminated first in the match by Rohit Raju with 0 eliminations. Matt Fulton was eliminated by Chris Sabin, Richard Ellering, and Rohit Raju with no eliminations. Savannah Evans gets eliminated by Richard Ellering with no eliminations. Richard Ellering gets eliminated by Tasha Steelz with 2 eliminations. Giant Swimmer gets eliminated by the Demon with no eliminations. Tasha Steelz gets eliminated by Molina with 1 elimination. Molina gets eliminated by Brian Myers with 1 elimination. And by the way, when Molina got eliminated, the crowds booed when she got eliminated. Number 8, Brian Myers by Sam Beal with 1 elimination. The Demon eliminated by Ace Austin with 1 elimination. Number 10, Sam Beal eliminated by Moose with 1 elimination. Number 11, Laredo Kid eliminated by Eddie Edwards with 0 eliminations. Alicia Edwards eliminated by W. Morrissey with 0 eliminations. Excuse me. She was the 12th person eliminated. I meant to say. And she she was tossed out of the ring by which is followed by the lane trees catching her. So because here's the thing too, by the way, followed by where did I get followed by from? Oh, sorry, not followed by. I'll think about um I think it was the other Goblin. Yeah, it was the other Goblin match I was talking about from months ago. Oh, I was thinking about that one. What I meant was, Alicia Edwards getting eliminated by, when Chancellor Dorothy Morrissey tossing her out to get catch by Giant Swinger, meant to say, and the running tree. So my apologies. I confused you for that one, so I apologize. Number 13, Eddie Edwards eliminated by W. Morrissey with 1 elimination. Number 14, Roy Rajul gets eliminated by Moose and W. Morrissey with 2 eliminations. Roy Rajul basically was, no one can stop us here, right? He's basically signing with them, and all of a sudden, Moose and W. Morrissey throws him out. Because he lasted long too, by the way. Number 15, Ace Austin eliminated by Chris Sabin with 1 elimination. And then we get Chris Sabin get eliminated by Moose and W. Morrissey with 2 eliminations. So yes, even though it was W. Morrissey's assistant too, but Moose finally got his get back on Chris Sabin. So after 16 was eliminated, number 17, Rich Swann gets eliminated by W. Morrissey and Moose. And then Moose betrays W. Morrissey by eliminating him to be number 18 eliminated. And W. Morrissey was shocked and pissed. So basically, your final fours was Moose, W. Morrissey, Rich Swann, and Mr. Always Ready, Matt Cardona. So Matt Cardona and Moose were having a clinic here, and I see myself. By the way, what takes the last 2 in the ring? Now it's gotta be end by pinfall or submission. That's the rules of the Clear Shot Gauntlet match, and on top of that is rule of their version of the Gauntlet match for Impact Wrestling. So yeah, so at this point it's Matt Cardona versus Moose 1-on-1 and all, and they were having a clinic in this match. It was great, but my worries is that wait a minute, so they better not have Moose lose here. And no, it's nothing against Matt Cardona. I love Matt Cardona. I'm always gonna be a fan of Matt Cardona, even when he was Zack Ryder. But I think it's finally time for Moose to finally get what he deserves, and we'll get to more of that. What happened? We'll talk about Moose, but and I'll give my thoughts about that too. But let's give it to Moose finally. I think he finally deserves because you haven't reached out with his company, and means you gotta give him something after him losing to Chris Sabin on Summerversary, and what have you, afterwards. Give this to Moose finally, So they haven't all out and all that. They almost had Michael Dillon win here, but no, Moose in the end won the match. So yeah, Moose gets the win, which makes Matt Cardona as number 19 getting eliminated with 0 eliminations by Moose. So Moose wins with 6 eliminations. By the way, there Morrissey with 5 eliminations, by the way. So yeah, your winner is Moose, and I couldn't be happy for him. And the crowd was going Moose. So your winner of your Clear Shot Gauntlet match, the 3rd ever winner of the Clear Shot Gauntlet match, Moose. And yes, and I know he's gonna catch on in too when that happens. I was not expecting it on the way it was done, but I'll get to it when we get to it. But either way, I was happy that Moose won it. Like finally. So there you go. We get to the Good for Nothing brothers, Doc Gallows and Machine Fuck Carl Anderson, for the Impact World Tag Team Champions versus Finn Juice of David Finlay and Juice Robinson versus Bullet Club of Chris Bay and Hikuleo. A 3-way tag team match for the Impact World Tag Team Championship. 9 minutes and 55 seconds lasted. It was a good match. I enjoyed the match for what it was. Doc Gallows was good. Fuck Carl Anderson. Finn Juice always been good, especially how they team up. In a lot, which is to New Japan Pro Wrestling, especially with them being the world tag leads for the last 3 years, maybe I don't know. But of what I've seen of them, they are a great tag team. And Chris Bay and Hikuleo, not being a tag team, but pertains to them being Bullet Club. They got to work as a tag team, and look like a tag team, feel like a tag team, and they did. And then the finish happened. Finn and Juice got something, this something, and then all of a sudden, Carl Anderson, that piece of garbage, that piece of trash, not as a wrestler, but as a person. But he tags into the match on the foot of Juice Robinson. Basically, tags the foot of Juice Robinson on the foot to get tagged in. I miss the old days where that's not allowed. The only way to make a tag is by tagging you got tag on the hand. So when that happened, it was the same finish that I saw where it takes the Good Brothers doing this shit. The Good for Nothing Brothers. The Good for Nothing Brothers, I should say. Nothing against Carl Anderson. I mean, nothing against Doc Gallows, I should say. But all against Carl Anderson. Fuck him. Minus the whole thing with Doc Gallows stuff with the belt, and then the whole thing with him, talking about jerking off and whatever. It's whatever. But it's basically the same finish I saw before with the Good for Nothing Brothers retaining the tag titles against. I can't remember who it was, but it was months ago that happened. But I remember it was the same. It was I remember now. Vibe Design when they lost the tag belts. I don't remember if it was done that way before, like it was done before. Maybe they won with the finisher. I don't remember if they won. Yeah, I remember they did win the finisher. Basically it was the same spot. When it takes to tag themselves in and then stealing the win. That's like what happened here, except this was worse. I believe it ended up with a fucking roll up, and then they scuttled away like a bunch of cowards that they got away with fucking murder. So yes, so with the ones that I wanted to win didn't win, and the ones that didn't win, I didn't want to win. So right there was a fail. Mickie James versus Deonna Purrazzo for the Impact and Knockout Championship with Matthew Rayrell banned from ringside. 13 minutes and 17 seconds lasted. Before the match, though, there was an interview that Mickie James did earlier, where Mickie James talks about how Deonna Purrazzo, has tried to break the system or whatever and all that, and talk about how she hasn't been Knockout Champion for 8 years, whatever, and basically hasn't won a title, a single title for 8 years or something like that. We don't know what she's taking a shot at too, by the way. WWE. Yeah, WWE. All the time you have Mickie James in WWE during those times. Not once you have her be women's champion again. What was the fucking point of her career there in WWE? Fuck you. When Mickie James talks about how Deonna Purrazzo returns to invade her home, returns to where she grew up, where she raised her son, and all, and it was an emotional promo, and then she's gonna beat her, and everything, and be Knockouts champion. So before the match even happened, Mickie James beats the living hell out of Deonna Purrazzo before the match, and they start beating the living hell out of each other from the in the ring, surrounding the around the ring, I should say, to the stage, maybe somewhere on the side of the stage too and all. But they would be in the living hell of each other before the match started. And they finally got back in the ring, and we finally got the match started. And once the match finally started, they started going at it in this match. Deonna Purrazzo's kicking Mickie James' ass, and Mickie James starts kicking Deonna Purrazzo's ass. This match was great, by the way. This is oh my god, a match I never thought I would ever see out of Mickie James. And made Deonna Purrazzo look good in the long haul too. And he had a kick out finishers too, by the way, of Deonna Purrazzo's finisher and Mickie James' finishers too. I'm like, wow, they're going all out with this match here. Holy shit, this is awesome. And the crowds agreed. They said they were chanting, this is awesome and all. Oh my god, this match is great. The finish though, I was not expecting the finish with Mickie James winning and your new Knockouts champion. Wow. I was not expecting that. So Mickie James is your winner and new Impact and Knockouts champion. So this is Deonna Purrazzo's second loss on Battle for Glory. Last year was against Su Yung, and now this year is with Mickie James. I wonder where they're going with this, by the way, because think about this. You have, Mercedes Martinez winning the knockdowns tournament to not only win the cup, but also to get an opportunity for the Impact Knockouts Championship title belt against either Mickey James or Deon Purrazzo. I wanted to see Deon Purrazzo versus Mercedes Martinez. After seeing this, Mickey James and Mercedes Martinez, I don't remember if I've ever seen a Mickey James versus Mercedes Martinez match. So, because I think we may have seen a Deon Purrazzo and Mercedes Martinez match, not in Impact Wrestling though, and especially not in WWE. Oh yeah, forget about that, because fuck WWE, fuck anything new and fresh in WWE, right? Especially on NXT. But I'm pretty sure some people may have seen in the Indies, Purrazzo facing Mercedes Martinez before. I could be wrong, but don't quote me on that. But Mercedes Mickey James versus Mercedes Martinez, I don't recall ever seeing that match either. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. But again, don't quote me on that one. But I'm excited. I'm actually looking forward to that match now. Mickey James versus Mercedes Martinez. Now I don't know what this means for Deonna Purrazzo. Is she gonna move forward now that she's no longer Impact like a champion? And I get the story they're doing here. The story here is that Mickey James, is looking for redemption. She's looking for revenge. And what better revenge to do it than take one of the belts off of Deonna Purrazzo? Because let's keep in mind too, she's also the holder of the AAA Rihanna. How you call that again? Let me look up again. Well, in fact, it should be right here. Give me one moment, folks. Let me just look it up. All right, let me see here. Just give one moment, and I'll get back to you, folks. Just gotta remember on the name. Okay, the AAA Reina de Arenas Championship. There you go. Yeah, she got that belt from AAA that she won from, I believe, from AAA. From Triple Mania. I meant to say. That's what I meant to say. The event on Triple Mania. So yeah, she got that belt. That she still got, and now she's got the belt taken away from her from which is to Knockouts Championship belt. So yeah, Mickey James is your winner, and Mickey James got at the end of the day, the hero conquered the villain. That's basically what the story was too. So yeah, man, it was a great match either way, folks. Awesome match, and for both women's, we're just to WWE fucking up on Deonna Purrazzo and Mickey James, and they show what they're made of. So there you go. Before we get to the main event, there's also a video package of Minoru Suzuki coming to Impact Wrestling. Now, as of this week so far, folks, Minoru Suzuki has already packed his bags and went back to Japan because pertains to the tapings for Impact Wrestling, which I hate that they gotta do this, by the way. They gotta do tapings. That's nothing that they can do at this pertains to do tapings, but they gotta do it. They can't going live is gonna cost way more money. So it's unfortunate. But hopefully they'll get back, bounce back, and eventually we'll do a live show eventually. But we'll see. But despite that, when Suzuki being here, for all these for the tapings for Impact Wrestling, we're gonna see what he's been doing. When it pertains to being during those times of for Impact Wrestling. Hopefully he'll come back. Whenever his schedule is light over in Japan. So I didn't need him back right now. Even though he's not a New Japan guy, but even though he's known very well to be in New Japan, but he said before, he's not a New Japan guy. He's not signed to Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, even though the Suzuki-gun, but since Minoru Suzuki is part of that whole thing, which was named by Taichi, the emperor. So yeah, we're taking Minoru Suzuki. He's still out there. It's basically like how Kota Ibushi is, by the way. Kota Ibushi, which is him not being signed with Impact, with not signed with Impact, not signed with Japan Pro Wrestling at the time, but he's allowed to go anywhere he wants. It's the same thing with Minoru Suzuki. Even with Lance Archer was not really signed to Japan Pro Wrestling, even though he was part of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he was part of the Suzuki-gun. He wasn't signed with Impact Wrestling. I mean, he wasn't signed with New Japan Pro Wrestling because he mentioned on the Talking Circle podcast that he was not really signed with them. It was just just part it was just him being part of this of these events that Impact was that New Japan has to say. they love this guy, and they want him to do you know a lot more dates and all that, but he never really signed with them, and yeah, which means he was allowed to go elsewhere until now he's now signed with AEW, and we see how how the mind has fallen now in the AEW with Lance Archer, unfortunately. But anyways, but yeah, but number Suzuki, I can't wait to see what he does in Impact Wrestling. Obviously, I already know what he can do. I already know what he's capable of, and yeah, he's not the young Minoru Suzuki that he was before, but hey, he's still got it for a 50-something-year-old man. He still got it. He's been doing this for 30+ years, so he's got this. Even during a taping show, he still got this. But it was nice. It was nice. And it's nice and how long it lasted with Minoru Suzuki being here in America wrestling like a Bryan Danielson, a Daniel Garcia, John Moxley, Eddie Kingston, where we want to throw in there, which is who else he wrestle, come in here for a brief time. So hopefully we'll see him again. So, which I know we will. Then we get to the main event. Before we get to the main event, we also had another promo from earlier. Christian Cage got a promo about Josh Alexander, about he's got keep his checks, his measures. Something about checking his measures and like that. And says that I think he's capable to be the guy, he's to be the face of the company and all that, right? And Christian Cage, like I said, he's been he's been the face of the company of this before. He's he's always been the guy on the character on on the world title belt, retains the pride and all that and everything. And he's not looking to let go and all that, right? And he said, basically saying that this is not his time. Josh Alexander is not his time. That's basically what it was. So, and we get to the match for the Impact World Championship. Josh Alexander, who used option C to get a world title shot, which is why the X Division title was vacant. Which is why you see Trey Mcgill as the X Division champion. And he goes up against the Impact World Champion from AEW, Christian Cage. 18 minutes and 52 seconds lasted. And this match was awesome. Great match, back and forth between the two. This is one of Christian Cage's best matches since coming back to wrestling after 7 long years. One of his best matches was also against Kenny Omega. Not one, but 2 matches, great matches with Kenny Omega. I can't remember all the matches that he may have another great match too. Other than with Ace Austin and Kurt Hawkins. I mean, not Kurt Hawkins. Brian Myers, excuse me. Brian Myers. But yeah, where it tends to Christian Cage, where he's on the these type of matches, he's getting back on his foot. He's getting his groove back. Yes, he was rusty during this time. He was low. He was out of breath during those times and all that, and whatever have you. But I think he's getting his pace back now. He's getting back to his groove. And when it comes to a guy like Josh Alexander, I should say, this is a tester of his see if he could still hang with these type of guys. And he did. He did a great job, and they both did a great job. Either way, both guys were expense in this type of match. And I was hoping that Impact Wrestling would do the right thing here, and sure enough, they did. Because Josh Alexander won with basically won with the ankle lock, I should say. Basically, he made Christian Cage tap out, and Christian Cage, Josh Alexander's wife, who used to be a wrestler, and she looks hot, by the way. And I can't remember if she's Korean, but she's Asian either way. And you also have the son there too. Now the other son is at home though, watching. Pretty sure being watched over by a nanny or something, or someone, something. I'm sorry. But anyways, but yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was shocked that Josh Alexander won. Like I mean, I kind of expected him to win because it's time for it's finally his time to win the belt because he's worked so hard to get this far, Josh Alexander, and he finally got he paid his dues, everything over his career, and finally he got the opportunity that he got his first opportunity of Impact World title, and he won, and I was happy for him. And Christian Cage, got the belt, and he gave it to Josh Alexander, and basically said, "You're the man, you're the face, whatever." Basically, he put him over, and I loved it. And then you got the wife and the son coming in the ring, for a good few moment, and then you hear Matt Striker, you could hear the tone of his voice changing because he sounded emotional. It's like he was about to cry because it was a great moment there. And I'm like, oh my god, don't do this, please don't do this. And even D'Lo Brown for a little bit, but you heard more of Matt Striker's voice, waking on that way than you heard D'Lo Brown. And I'm like, man, this is this is good, man. Either way, it was whatever, man. It's whatever. It's a great few moment there for Josh Alexander. He's the new Impact World Champion. He's who I wanted to be Impact World Champion. I want him to be the guy to beat Moose for the title. I mean, not Moose. Kenny Omega, I should say, for the title. If Kenny Omega was the champion, since Sammy Callahan couldn't do it, Moose couldn't do it. And since Christian Cage, wasn't really expecting Christian Cage to win the belt, but when it happened, I was shocked too enough that he won the belt. And I see where and then more into that whole thing, I kind of did see where they were going with that, where it was gonna be two Canadian wrestlers going at each other, Christian Cage and Josh Alexander. Now, again, it still could have been Kenny Omega, where it could have been still been about Canadian wrestlers wrestling each other in the main event of Bound for Glory between Josh Alexander and Kenny Omega. Because I think I love to see that match, even to how they teased it too. Because they teased at one point that it was gonna be Josh Alexander and Kenny Omega, but then they never did it. So I don't know. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know why that decision was made for Christian Cage to do it, but it's whatever. But either way, Josh Alexander got what he deserved there, and I couldn't be more happy for him. And the show is going off the air with Josh Alexander celebrating with his family, in the ring. And then also I heard commotions from the fans, and then I see the ring moving for whatever reason, and it was Moose, and like, no. So Josh Alexander got his family out of harm's way because Moose is cashing in his career shot for a world title against Josh Alexander after all this. And then bell rings, lights out spear to Josh Alexander. In 7 seconds, 1, 2, 3, new champion. I could not fucking believe it. Now I'm pretty sure y'all saying to yourself, why are you saying like that? Yeah, you should be happy. This is what you wanted, right? You wanted Moose to be world champion, right? Yes, I do. Not like this. It's supposed to be Josh Alexander's moment. This is his moment to shine. This was his. I'm sorry. I know what they were going with. I understand where they were going with. A good moment for Josh Alexander, for his family, for winning the big one in Impact Wrestling, to be the guy, to be the champion, in front of his wife, in front of his son, and celebrating the ring. And then you got the scum of the earth, Moose, coming in to steal, rob that moment from the family in front of their eyes. And then Moose, after he winning it, the family are, the son and wife are checking on Josh Alexander, and Moose is standing over them, like, they want Moose to be the nastiest, dirtiest heel world champion, taking away the moment that should have been Josh Alexander. That's why they did this. Yes, I did want Moose to be champion. I always wanted Moose to be champion. It should have been Moose being Kenny Omega during that time. But instead, they did a different route. I would never have done it this way. I would never have done it this way. I'm not saying it's trash. I'm not saying it was a dumpster fire. I'm not saying it was horrendous. It was terrible. I understand where they were going with. But again, that's not how I wanted to do it. I'm sorry. I couldn't. I am not. I disagree with this. After all this time you've been building up Josh Alexander, the video package you did of his career, of his life, where his wrestling career was over. It was over during those times. And then he ended up on getting himself in great shape. And he has to get back in the ring. He does things with Ethan Page, with the North thing. And then him carrying the X Division title, with the X Division matches that he's been delivering. All this time, the gateway he gets where it's just to to get this opportunity for the world title for me option C to finally win it, to get the title that referees are so that we all be proud of, and then you have it slip right through his fingers for a moment, a split second, to give it to Moose, and the way they did it, I was not a fan of that. Was it shocking? Yes, it was shocking. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know who was out there with this. I thought it was a good idea to do this. If you wanted Moose and Josh Alexander to be on the program, this is not how I would have done it. Again, I understand where we're going with. I understand exactly how they were they were going about with this, but I don't agree with it. And yes, Moose does deserve it. He got himself in great shape. He's been getting a lot better in the ring, and he's really proven himself that he is Mr. Impact Wrestling, despite all this joke and all this things that they're doing with him on TV. Where it takes him, you're Mr. Impact Wrestling, but we never see you with a title around you and all that. Like you never hold on to any titles, and you never been champion. And I'm saying to myself, he's been the Impact Grand Champion. Did everyone forget about that? Are we going to forget about the belt ever existing? Because the way they did that whole thing with back in 2017 with Josh Matthews being the champion, it was either that year or 2018. I can't remember what year it was. It had to be 2018. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't recall if because I think remember Austin Aries was still with the company at the time. I could be wrong. I don't know. I could be wrong. I digress. But you get my point. But I'm pretty sure it was 2017. But either way, yeah, I always hate this whole thing where Moose, you call Mr. Impact Wrestling and all, but you've never been champion in Impact Wrestling. That always pisses me off because it's not true. He's been a champion before. Maybe not for the Impact World title, but he's been a champion before. So yeah, there you go, folks. I don't know what to say. After that, I couldn't believe they did that. And I'm hearing reports too. By the way, the reason why they did this too is because Josh Alexander has been injured since Slammiversary. I don't know what injury he has. Maybe it's a shoulder injury. I don't know. I don't know what type of injury that he's suffering right now. I don't know if it's a serious injury that they had to take time off and so on. And that's the reason why they did it. Because I didn't watch Impact Wrestling, because I'm doing the show right now. But I'll catch it when I can. But once I see he's not on the show, now I might understand why they did it. But do I still agree how they did it? No. Because if you knew he was injured during that time, if you knew how, but then again, you could say the same thing with K Omega. He's been injured too, and he's still he's still the champion. How long he's been keep this injury up for this long? Because I'm surprised he's lasting this long to be the whole of his injury, just to drop the belt to the Hangman and the Page at full gear. But yeah, Martinez over type of injury that Josh Alexander is going through. That's something that should not be fucking around with. If it's from his neck, definitely from his neck, because think about it, he had 2 neck injuries that cost his wrestling career, that put his wrestling career on hold to a point where he had to retire at one point. Now, I don't know what injury he's going through. Well, I guess I'll find out whenever I can. Maybe they'll explain on the show. Who knows? I don't know. I just don't know, folks. I will never done this way. Because again, if you knew Josh Alexander was hurt, if you knew the injury he had were chance to him holding out that injury until the right time was to do it, for him to get the time off, you should have done it then. I don't know. I just don't know, folks. And what they did here, basically, they're basically treating this whole clear shot trophy thing that Moose won like a Money in the Bank. I don't know why they decided to do it that way. Hey, this is the first time Rhino and Joe Dory, found by design. They did it on Finjuice, and the reason they did it because they were going to Japan. So how to get the buzz off of them? Do the encore shot, where it tends to cashing in, treat like a Money in the Bank. Basically, they did a WWE booking. I'm sorry, but tends to this whole catching at any time, the whole thing. Even does before pertains to the Future Fire thing, which was a knockoff of Money in the Bank too. And then I get the whole thing where how WWE did it. You catch it at any time and all that. But at this point, it's been done overdone so many times already. Where I'm sick and tired of seeing that shit, and I'm sick and tired of hearing about that too. Kill that mystique because it's getting old and it's run its course. I don't see New Japan Wrestling doing that shit. Say that someone wins the G1 Climax briefcase, not just win the G1 Climax to get a shot at the title, and win the trophy and then get the briefcase, sign the contract and all that. It'd be like someone win the G1 Climax and then pertains to whoever's the champion of the IWGP World Championship, and that after they went to that long 30-minute match and all that, and then or it could be longer than that, however you want to say it, however you want to put it, I should say, just for the cash in, I'm cashing this right now and I'm fishing right now, and then the match will end in about 7 seconds. No. Just thank God New Japan Pro Wrestling doesn't do this shit. Thank God when it takes to win the G1 Climax, you wait until Wrestle Kingdom. Unless you get to defend it until that time because pretend to defend your shot of title at Wrestle Kingdom. You have to defend it against the ones that you lost against in the G1, which is possible. But there you go, folks. That's my thoughts about that. I mean, good for Moose though. I always, like I said, I did want Moose to become champion, but this is not how I would have done it. That's all I'm saying. This is not how I would have done it. And that was Bound for Glory from October 23rd, 2021. Before I move on, and this talk my highlights of the nights for Bound for Glory from me. Swerve of the night was Rhino choosing Heath over Vampire Design. Shock of the night was Moose calling a shot on Josh Alexander after winning the belt. Moments of the night, and listen to when I said this, moments of the night. Moments of the night. Trey Mcgill being the new champion. Awesome Kong, even though this was on the pre-show, be in the Hall of Fame. And that's another thing too. They showed the highlights of it on the show. But it takes to also Kong being inducted to the Hall of Fame. So I'm glad they showed that. I'm glad they showed that. And also Josh Alexander being the new champion. But at the end of the day, what does it matter? Because the moment was rumored. The moment was fucking rumored after that. But I'll still add that in though. Chant of the night, Moose after winning the close shot gauntlet match. Pop of the night, Molina, when she came out to be in that gauntlet match. Cheer of the night, Mickie James being the new Knockouts champion. Because after she won the match, the crowds were cheering. For Mickie James winning after when she beat John Purrazzo. Boo of the night, Brian Myers eliminated Molina. Because again, Brian Myers got heavily booed when Molina got eliminated. Promo of the night, Mickie James. Video promo of the night, the Impact World Championship. Segment of the night, Moose celebrating over Josh Alexander's family. That's the only segment I could come up with, folks, because there was barely any segments on the show. Which which is fine. There should not be any segments on pay-per-views, which is just bell to bell matches. So entrance of the night, the Demon. Well, at first I was gonna put the Demon. Um, but after seeing the inspiration tends to Holly Cameron, performing for the inspiration's entrance, I gotta go with that. So that's entrance of the night. Uh, performance of the night, Trey Mcgill. Move of the night, El Fantasmo's Super Rana onto Trey Mcgill. And then Trey Mcgill then onto Steve Macklin. Ron is knees far away, which I'm pretty sure he's fine though. Counter of the night though, my God, I got mentions too by the way, folks. The counter of the night were just that exhibition championship title three-way match. So Trey Mcgill went for a handspring, right? And then Steve Macklin, he charges at him as he's going for a handspring and spears him out of the ring. And they're like, holy shit. Like, I never seen a counter like that before, man. Like, that was awesome. Steve Macklin is awesome, man. Finish of the night, Moose, lights out spear. How ironic, because this is supposed to be for the gauntlet match, but instead, this also ends up being the finish pertains to Josh Alexander losing the belt, too. After winning it. Brew match of the night, the Korea Shot gauntlet match, because you had the candlesticks involved and all that and everything. So, obviously because of Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards. So, Fight Forever goes to Exhibition Championship title match, and this is awesome chant goes to Knockout Championship title match. I mean, yeah, a lot of just awesome chants, but if I had to choose one, I'm gonna go with Knockout Championship title match because that was awesome. Show Steal tonight, Exhibition Championship title match. The X Division Championship was the Show Stealer, and match of the night, the Impact World Championship match. And that was it for your Impact Battle Glory moments of the highlights, I should say, of the night. And my overall rating for the show, it was a good show, a great show. Minus the whole thing what they did with Josh Alexander, and there were some promises that they couldn't fulfill, but they still give us some Triple A stars, AEW stars, New Japan stars, and some stars that from WCW, like the Demon, even though I was not expecting that. And he had some debuts, he had some returns. He had some great matches from after great matches and all that. Nothing was bad. Other than the Good Brothers, or should I say the Good for Nothing Brothers winning, retaining. That was dumb. And that finish was also waste. Morons. We're that shit. Fuck Carl Anderson, by the way. And yeah. Other than that, my show rating the show 8.5 out of 10. 8.5. I gotta go, folks. Maybe I could have given it a 9. Well, or 9.5, but what to do with Josh Alexander after that? I mean, still a good rating though. Not a bad rating either way. Again, I'm not saying it was garbage what they did there, but it was not any better how they did it. So 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10 is what I'm going from there. And that's it. I'm done. With that being said, thank you for watching. I'm going to end it from here. So that was your Impact Wrestling Review. The show from October 23rd, 2021, versus to Impact Bound for Glory 2021. And I thought deliver. The show deliver. It was a great show. It wasn't a scam like Scammiversary. But again, you can see there were some things that was a scam. But I digress. But there you go, folks. For it's the Natural Born Thriller, aka Natural Scream Thriller, aka Natural Scary Thriller, aka any type of natural thrillers you want me to be. Saying peace on the streets. For you to be well, stay safe, Take care of yourself if that's everything that's going on in the world. Wear your mask. Get your hand sanitized. Wear your gloves for safety purpose. And get vaccinated. And be respectful. Be better. Be appreciative. To love one another. God bless one another. Live in peace and harmony for us all. For I am out here. Ta-ta for now. And once again, thanks a lot, True J, for spoiling the inspiration winning the tag belts. Because John Cena sucks. Take care.